Hey y'all, it's your friend Dee, and in today's video, we're going to talk about my favorite way to get budget-friendly backdrops, and that is by using Dollar Tree posters, and they're only $1.25. I've been using Dollar Tree posters for a few years now, and one of my favorites is this one. It is a mountain scene, and there's a cabin in the background, and there's also some foliage here with some green trees and some red and orange plants. And it gives a fall vibe, but I've used this year round. I've used this backdrop in so many different ways. This area has been a playground, it's been where my gazebo sits, and I've also added some trees for my Halloween video. So I can take my DIY trees or a building and add it to this scene for some extra depth. Another thing I try to do is hide the bottom scene of my Dollar Tree posters, especially if I'm going to be filming the doll's feet or any activity on the ground. I usually use my DIY stone wall in front of this poster, and I do have a video on this, but this gives the illusion of a retaining wall, almost like the dolls are at a levee, because if I remove it, you can see that the river looks like it's running right at us, and it looks a little odd, even with the green paper down for grass. It just needed something else. I still see this poster in my local Dollar Tree, so maybe you can find it in yours. One negative thing about the Dollar Tree posters is they have a gloss finish and you will get a glare from your lights. You can see I have a glare here and one here. I have two of these posters, so I cut a strip off of one, and I did a test to see if matte Mod Podge would help with the glare. And you can see here, there's a glare, but it kind of disappears around this area and it's not as noticeable. And that's where I put the Mod Podge. So you can clearly see it up here, and it's only slightly noticeable past this line. So that might work. I added two thin coats, so I might need to go over it with a third coat. The first of the new posters I want to share with you is this lake scene, and it is 36 by 24 inches. Really quickly, I want to share with you how I set up the posters as backdrops. It's nothing fancy. I don't have a backdrop display kit, so I just attach the poster to some foam board, and I use binder clips to hold it together, and I lean it against my wall, and that's how I set them up. And when I'm done, I take the poster off the foam board, roll it up, and store it away. Here's the poster all set up, and I did have to turn the brightness down on some of my lights because of the glare, but one glare I actually liked, not this one in the center, but there was a glare right here that hit perfectly there, and I'm going to turn my light back up so you can see it. The light hitting here almost makes it look like it's sunlight. I know some of you might be concerned about the wording here in the corner, but you can always cover that up. You can cover it with a bush or a building. Maybe your doll has a cabin by the lake. You can even cut this bottom half off, and that will still leave you 16 inches in height, and that's more than enough to film your dolls in front of this poster. Okay, we're right here. All right, as soon as I close this last buckle, I'm ready. Great, and you sure you got everything out of the car? Yep, I triple checked. So where are we going and how far? We've just got to go to the other side of the lake, over that mountain, and we should be at the cabin by nightfall. Nightfall? When Roger texted me this morning, he said it took him less than an hour to make it to the cabin. Oh, he probably took the easy route and just drove straight there. Sharon, just get in the car. I cut off the bottom 8 inches of the poster, and you can see there still is enough room for a Barbie and a Ken doll to be filmed in front of it. And I'm going to keep that bottom 8 inches. After I cut it off, I realized I could have just made a fold on that line, and I'm going to show you why I'm keeping that bottom piece. I wanted to keep this bottom piece because of the reflection of the trees and the sky on the water, and this makes it look like the dolls are actually on the lake. If I was to use blue paper or even scrapbook paper that is a picture of water, it would look a little strange. And I know you're saying, but I can still see the words. All I have to do is put my camera in a better angle and zoom in. I adjusted my camera angle and I zoomed in, so you can see there is an illusion that the doll is floating on the water. Just roll, just roll. Now let's take a look at the Eiffel Tower poster, and this one was also $1.25, and it is 24 by 36 inches. Here's the poster of the Eiffel Tower, and of course you cannot see the entire poster because it's so tall. So I did have to step back and take a photo of it, and I'll put it on screen. In the top 3/4 portion of the poster, you can see the Eiffel Tower, and it's backed by this beautiful sky. And the bottom portion of the poster has this wonderful view of the skyline of Paris, and we have this close-up of the park. And I'm not sure if this is just called the Eiffel Tower Park or if this is Champ de Mars. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but if you know exactly what this area is called, please leave it in the comments below and help me out. The bottom of this poster has a lot going on. We see that there's people, trees, there's some buildings, and we can see Paris in the background. So I pointed my lights directly toward the poster so you can see that we do get a glare because of the glossy finish on this poster, just like the other ones. So you do have to worry about that and get creative with the direction of your lights. I think this background can be used for a lot of different photos. We can have fashion shoots, some romantic scenes, and we can even pretend to travel. So many decisions. See the Eiffel Tower? Or get macarons? Let's get macarons. We can also pretend that the dolls are sitting outside a cafe enjoying some pastry. Bonjour, Tanja! It is I, Sharon! I've just returned from Café de Sharon, where I invented a new pastry called Le Chirinade. Girl, that's a donut with glitter on it. And if you're wanting to get more of the Eiffel Tower portion of the poster in your videos, you have some options. For this photo of Tanja and Sharon, I just raised the dolls up by putting them on top of boxes. You can also cut the poster in half and use the top portion for maybe scenes outside of a bedroom window. Say cheese! And our third poster is a picture of the beach, and this one is 36 by 24 inches. Here's the poster set up on my table, and I think this one might be my favorite. We do have some words at the top, but they're high enough that we don't have to worry about them. We can easily crop them out of a shot. And of course, because of the glossy finish, there is a glare here from the light. Here you can see just how much space you have above the doll's head. So you definitely don't have to worry about the words at the top. So this poster has a row of palm trees, and it looks like they're on a concrete walkway. And beyond that is the sand, and then we have the ocean. So I think this one would make a great backdrop for vacation scenes or pool parties. Well, Sharon, wouldn't you know it? There'd be a record heat wave when we go on vacation. Let's just go lounge in the shade. Nope, I came all this way to lounge on the beach, so I'm lounging on the beach. But it's 110 degrees. I don't care. I have SP50 and absolutely no responsibilities, so I'll be on the beach. It's times like this that make me question if she really graduated from nursing school. And just like with the other backdrops, we can add extra items to the scene. So my friends, that's all I have for you today. Let me know which poster was your favorite, and have you seen them at your local Dollar Tree, or have you found some other ones? And if you have any questions about anything in this video, please leave it in the comments below. I will try my best to answer your questions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I'll see you next time, my friends. Bye-bye.